Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 44,299, up 1.76%. Ethereum doing well, 3102, up 4.21%. DOGE rocking and rolling, up 20.55%. If you're new to the community, I'd just like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. 7 days a week, I share my knowledge as a full-time technical trader with over 20 years of experience to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Axie Infinity up 6.16%. SHIB up 22%. I know a lot of happy SHIB holders will be celebrating. We have a really beautiful community that you're very welcome to join if you're new. Our focus is on real wealth. You really can have it all. Court said something very, very beautiful. In fact, there were so many wonderful comments in the last episode. Thank you so much, everyone. Court said, we can all increase our bank accounts while increasing our levels of consciousness. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Absolutely, Court. You literally can have it all. But what does real wealth actually mean? Real wealth is much more than money. It's about fulfillment and meaning and purpose. Many, many different things. Inside our community, we're chasing real wealth. It's all about that. You literally can have it all. You can have inner peace, outer peace, and security and financial freedom. That is the focus of our community. A lot of people reached out to me with a great concern. Are the markets crashing? They were really, really worried. We have actually an early warning system. It's actually presented in each trend video. For example, 173, 170, 168, 166. It's been there for a little while. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at the trend videos, I suggest you just look at the latest one. It will give you a lot of insight, but I'll go through some of the key things now for you. When the Black Swan event hit in February 2020, which was a culmination of the world closing down, plus a liquidity crisis in the US, we saw Ethereum fall by 71% over 24 days. Bitcoin over that same period of time nearly fell by 64%. Total crypto market cap also was hit really hard, around a 65% reduction. It's really important to understand what can cause these kind of events. They do leave footprints before they happen, and that is what the early warning system is all about. A lot of people ask me, Ken, the transportation sector is selling off. There's a divergence between transportation and the major indices. Does that mean we're in for a crash? What is happening there? It's really important to understand transportation plays a really big role inside the economy. When things are improving economically, transportation is required to ship goods around, and that would be very fair. The transportation and the stock market indices should move as one, but often they don't. There are Dow theorists that look into the concept that transportation is a leading indicator of problems inside the economy and economic system. Let's just zoom out on this a little bit and look at what that may mean. This is all part of that early warning system that we go over every day. I've zoomed out here to show you the current price action and the sell-off that occurred when the world shut down, basically. You can see that there was a really dramatic fall here. We've got a weakening in the transportation sector, undeniably so. We track this each day. We're not having this plummeting action at present, but transportation isn't the only thing that we would look at. We need to look at a lot of different things, and we do absolutely that in every single trend episode. Light crude oil is also a really economically sensitive variable. Before the crash happened, light crude oil was selling off. Light crude oil is actually much more sensitive to economic changes than transportation. We can see that there's a little bit of weakness in oil prices right now, but we're not seeing this sustained downtrend at the moment. Again, we track this every single day. Utilities are also economically sensitive. You can see just before that crash, we had a really big rally up to a peak, and then things started to go a little bit haywire. We're noticing in the current price action, we've crossed above resistance. We're going up. There is no cause for concern yet. We must look at the markets with the view that things emerge slowly. As soon as we see a trigger event, I will of course let you know. We're not getting there just yet. These things can take months to play out. Copper is also really economically sensitive and is a bit of a forward indicator, actually much more than transportation. Let's have a look at this. Copper sold down before the main crisis hit. You can see this structural weakness here. At the current prices, copper is actually rebounding from support. I would suggest that you, if you can, make time for those trend videos. You don't want to amass really fantastic gains only to see them just disappear within a couple of days. That is what can happen inside the crypto industry. That's actually why I put this early warning system together for the community, to safeguard your wealth. The VIX is another really good gauge. The VIX, when it spikes up, like what happened in the crisis, the VIX actually rose 538% from this low. What we see at the moment is the VIX decreasing, not getting above this structural resistance line. So far so good, but we really have to monitor this very closely. Things can change in a heartbeat in the markets. In the trend session, we also look at bonds and yields and silver and gold and the dollar and all major global industries, the airline sector, corporate bonds. We look at a lot of things really. We blast through it with the concept that the more information you know, the safer you are. What all this means for you right now. Yes, there is a divergence, a non-confirmation in the transportation sector, but those non-confirmations can take a long time to play out. It is not necessarily a bad thing that is about to befall the market. We have so many different confluence indicators that we track every day in the trend session. Just keep your eyes on those things. I let you know every day what is happening. Today, everything is okay. We're not seeing through the indicators that there is an immediate problem. As soon as we do, I will be the first to tell you. I'd like to let you know that there are many transportation indexes. The DTX is currently trading over that resistance, is turned it into support. That would tend to suggest that things are not going this particular way. We need to keep an eye on things. There are a confluence of indicators that are throwing out different directions, different signals. Maybe the best thing to help you to understand what's going on. Many YouTubers get on their channels and talk about doom and gloom and the end of the world, and there's usually something to buy at the end of it. We don't do anything like that on our channel, inside our community. We just simply walk the middle path and say, let's have a look on the balance of probabilities. On the balance of probabilities, there is some degree of weakness across the markets. That is absolutely true. Is there enough to cause us to sell everything and move to cash? Not at the moment. Is there enough to say we could risk off? possibly if that's your risk preference, but I'm not detecting anything like that right now. We'll keep on top of it every day. Everything I do here is free. You don't need to subscribe to any newsletters. If you would like anything else covered off, I'm really happy to do that for you. That's the purpose of our community. The best, highest quality information possible, free. As the main markets are closed, we're not going to be too concerned about the trend now. We'll look at Bitcoin and how it's going. Trend, timing, and trigger. We're basically going to focus on the timing. The trend was covered really well in the last episode. That's this one, episode 173. We're going to use the KS method for timing. The first thing we do is look at the news from the eyes of someone completely new to crypto, just basically reading the headlines, seeing if they're positive or negative. Now, order coffee, pizza, and pay using Bitcoin. Wow, I can order food with Bitcoin. You can eat Bitcoin. Ukrainians to trade and spend cryptocurrencies legally. Woohoo! Countries adopting Bitcoin. Amazon's Bitcoin venture. Whoa, can redefine the payment services. Redefining, that's very good. It's always good to be redefined. Top cryptocurrency news must be positive. Oh, major stories. Fidelity Investments engages. Fidelity is getting engaged. How beautiful. Oh, with regulators to bring crypto something. Oh, I'm not sure if that's positive or negative. Sounds a bit worrying. This offbeat strategy, offbeat, might explain micro strategies, Bitcoin something, ... Wow, that must be positive. Cryptocurrency prices today, Bitcoin surges. Oh, a surge. Bitcoin has gone electric. Look at that. 3 reasons why Ethereum is unlikely to flip Bitcoin. Oh no, how sad. Poor Ethereum. Oh, they're fighting. Look at that. They're whacking each other, Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's not very nice. Ethereum breaks above 3,000. Oh, Bitcoin was breaking. Oh, I guess that's positive. US SEC shuts down $30 million DeFi money market in first ... Oh, that's a bit negative. There's a really interesting story that we should actually focus on. This Ukrainians to trade and spend cryptocurrency legally. That's more signal than noise. That's pretty cool. I'd just like to take you into Bitcoin treasuries. If you search Bitcoin treasuries, you'll find Buy Bitcoin Worldwide. It's /treasuries. We actually cover this in the trend video too. Look at this, public companies that own Bitcoin. We analyze, in the trend video, we analyze all of these movements. So in case you're in the stock market as well, or just in the stock market, we cover off these things. Quite a few, isn't there? Look at this, countries and governments that own. Ooh, Ukraine. Interesting it is. Hey, where did Yoda come from? Always nice to see Yoda. Ukrainian government has 46,351 Bitcoins. So where is Ukraine? Look at it. It's just here in Europe, Eastern Europe. And what are they up to? Okay, here's this article. Ukrainians to trade and spend cryptocurrencies legally. Digital Ministry says, wow, the US could learn a few things about this, couldn't it? As well as, of course, all the other countries. Ukrainians owning cryptocurrency will benefit from the law on virtual assets, as it will introduce investor protection and allow them to legally exchange and declare their crypto holdings. This is fantastic. I can see the Ukraine getting a large number of miners, developers. Wow. While other countries are trying to shut down Bitcoin and crypto, Ukraine is showing a tremendous amount of leadership. Cryptos, including of course Bitcoin, are just one investment vehicle. People could use their investments for gold, real estate, businesses, S&P 500, stock market, whatever they want to do. Let's look at the relative returns. Gold is down 14%. S&P is up 32%, Bitcoin for the past year up 275%. That would be quite attractive to a lot of people. Let's have a look at crypto total market cap. Total market cap is now $1.796 trillion. Way to go, crypto. It's above that previous structural resistance and it's now turned to support. You can see this channel here. That's acting currently as resistance. We can extend that a little bit more if we wish. Very, very good. We have this lower level of support. We can also extend that one too. It's really good to try and be as exact as you can and very, very consistent with the drawing of lines. If you're new to drawing lines, I would suggest you look at episode 93. It's a really cool episode. You don't have to go out and buy expensive indicators. You don't need to buy anything at all. If you can just acquire the knowledge, you'll save yourself a fortune and you'll get really familiar with the knowledge. I go through very step by step how to draw lines on a chart like I do for you when we go through this data. We can see a pretty strong amount of power, strong price action in here. What we always know in the community is price is always moving in a wave. It's going up and down, up and down. That's just the way it goes. We expect some kind of down movement at some stage. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. Bitcoin is currently trading at 44,697, just below that really critical 45,000 psychological resistance and just below that logarithmic regression, logarithmic resistance line, structural resistance line. A couple of people asked me, Ken, what's the difference between arithmetic, which is this blue line, and logarithmic, which is this red line? When you zoom out to a wider view, like the daily or the weekly charts, you need to use logarithmic view. This is the log view here. You need to use log. And when you actually do that, you can tend to draw lines that make more sense in terms of technical analysis. When we do this arithmetic line, it is definitely a sensible line to draw. This particular logarithmic line is just drawn as a resistance line when you're on log scale. That's the only difference. That is another potential area where sellers will be mounting up. This is almost kind of a trap in a way. A lot of people would think, oh, okay, we're over this arithmetic line. It's all clean air above. We're going to rock and roll. And they may not know that this logarithmic line is there. That professional traders tend to use both. We use logs and we use just normal arithmetic to try and understand the market more clearly. There could be a lot of people seeking to sell, especially at that $45,000 mark. We should also bear in mind the voting on the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act in the Senate. There are a couple of provisions in there which are not quite crypto friendly. There is always time to amend this legislation, even if it passes. It's got to go through the House. And then after it passes through the House, it has to be worked on with the IRS. The major thing to note is that we're in a fairly strong price wave up. To get a price wave down wouldn't be anything unreasonable at all. A few more things to keep in mind. This could just be really useful. We've seen Bitcoin come up from that low about 45%. It retraced about 10%, 10 to 11%, and it's come up around 20%. It's just now hitting the 200 period moving average. That's a daily 200-day moving average. These moving averages can sometimes create resistance. We've already seen the structural resistance on the chart. Long-time viewers will know I'm not crazy about moving averages, but other YouTubers are, so I don't mind discussing them. With the 200 period or 200 day moving average in here, many YouTubers will say this is coming up to resistance. We can see the price is below resistance. Actually, the truth is the price is below structural resistance, which you can draw in. If you have a look at that video, you can see it. The problem with lagging indicators like moving averages, they're also an average. From my time lecturing first and second year statistics, averages are really problematic things. For example, I used to use this idea with my students. I said, put one arm in the fire, one arm in the freezer. Guess what? Your average temperature, but you just lost both your arms. This is what happens with an average. You may have heard many people talk about standard deviation. Standard deviations actually are subject to the law of property equivalence. That means an average value, it's average deviation around the mean is what a standard deviation is all about. Those averages can get very distorted. That's why I don't use them. And you know, I was a stats lecturer. I love stats, but I understand its limitations. The other thing to bear in mind, if we go back and look at the 2016 halving cycle, we had a downturn in price, very similar to what we're having right now. Price rallied very similar to the way it's rallying right now. And look how it came down. This is just normal price action. The overall pattern is definitely up. That's what the KS model tells us. That's what our psychological model explains. The important thing to understand, this downward price potential is not a problem. It's just normal price action. We discussed a little bit about the Infrastructure Investments and Job Act in episode 168 and 169. The real contention is how the definition of broker actually plays in with the Internal Revenue Code. Whatever the result of the judgment today, it's really important that it's not all over. Brokers are literally brokers. They have access to KYC information, know your customer information. They file that with the IRS, the tax reporting body. When it comes to network validators, software developers, and a whole lot of other people, they just don't have that information. It's impossible for them to comply. That's why, in many respects, this will probably become a moot point because it literally is unenforceable. We'll see what happens, but I think having an understanding of the legal ramifications of this is really important. Okay, let's go through our process and get into the alts, which I'm sure you're wanting to get into. Estimated leverage for Bitcoin is basically decreasing. The Bitcoin futures market under perpetuals, the majority of the perpetuals contracts are long. The futures for the next month are predominantly positive. They're long. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin longs and Bitcoin shorts. We can see the Bitcoin shorts are coming down. Sorry, the longs are coming down. The shorts are going up. I'm ahead of myself. I just want to show you how to create this chart. I have a link for TradingView in the description. What you basically do is you come down to compare, you search Bitfinex for BTC USD longs, and then you add it as a new price scale. Then you come down to BTC USD shorts and you add it as a new price scale. That allows you to have a price scale for the longs over here and for the shorts over there. That's how you create this diagram. I hope that helps. Looking into Bitcoin options, this is from coinoptionstrack.com. We can see for options expiring at the end of the month, which has the greatest open interest, total open interest is 21,604.1. Put call ratio is 0.64. Maximum pain price is 36,000. This is the point at which most options expire worthless. I was looking at some of the discussions on Discord, but very good group by the way, and also on Twitter, exceptional group also. What I saw were people talking about, oh, I want to trade options. I think it's really, you need to be very, very careful. The house has the card stacked against you from the start. Around 75% of options contracts expire worthless. That should give you an indication of how the probability to be in the money. The other thing is that options trading is actually really complex. There's so many strategies and it can be really confusing. I will do an entire video on options and how to trade them. I think that until you are a professional trader, that means consistently profitable. You can trade, you can draw all your own trend lines. You don't have to rely on indicators, all of those kind of things. Please just keep away from options. Now, when it comes to futures, run. Just run. If you think options are bad, futures are a million times worse. The losses on futures, they'll take your house. They'll take everything. Please be really careful. I urge everyone who's new to just trade at spot. Don't even use leverage. It's really important to guard yourself. Just think about it like this. Don't be in search of the quick buck. Be in search of the knowledge to know how to make a dollar. That is the valuable stuff. That will help you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is currently trading at 31, 34, and 94 cents. It has support below at 30.87, 11, 29.88, 19, and 29.13. We can see it's got a very solid uptrend. Those kind of angles can be hard to maintain. Resistance above is 32.22, 33, and 33.19, 94. Looking at the estimated leverage ratio for Ethereum, it's decreasing. Looking at the ETH futures market for perpetuals, predominantly short. Looking at the futures for ETH, that's predominantly mixed for the expiration at the end of the month. When we look at ETH USD longs and shorts measured in ETH, we can see the number of shorts represented by this red line increasing. We can see the number of margin longs decreasing. Looking at Ethereum options expiring at the end of the month, we see total open interest 168,476, put call ratio 0.57. Max pain price has come up from 2,400 yesterday to 2,500 today. Across the past 24 hours, there's been 503.72 million in liquidations across 90,031 traders. We see over the past 12 hours, around 71% of liquidations were short. We're still not seeing a big spike in terms of massive multi-billion-dollar liquidations, but the volume is starting to come up. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. We can see the predominant liquidations have been short. Turning to psychological safety and liquidations, the current fear and greed index is 74. People are feeling very greedy. They're feeling optimistic. I like to say optimistic rather than greedy. Now, what do we know when that happens? When people get really optimistic, they tend to FOMO in. That can certainly drive the price up, but the shorts are waiting for them. It's all about cooling the market off. When price comes down too low, for example, when price comes down too low, as we witness, the longs come in and heat the market up, and then the shorts come in and take some of those profits away, and it's vice versa. It's always a symbiotic relationship that is occurring. If you're interested in options, I have been actually tracking the max pain price for Bitcoin here. I'll keep on doing that. We have a lot of people inside our community. Some people have been trading many years. So I really love to provide this incredible depth of information. If there's anything else that you would like me to cover off, please let me know in the comments. I'm here to help the community out any way I can. Looking at the stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator, we can see money is flowing into the crypto market, into stablecoins, and into Bitcoin. That's really bullish. We're keeping our eye on Tether's circulating supply and seeing if a potential Department of Justice probe could cause any problem for the stablecoin industry as a whole, as well as government relations. Regulations, government relations. That sounds very interesting. Being a bit naughty. Okay, USDT. We don't see any real impacts on any of the stablecoins at the moment. It's really good to cover this every day. Tether has a 62 billion market cap. If there are any problems with Tether's paper reserves, commercial paper, what is going to happen? We would see an enormous amount of shorting behavior into the billions. We're not seeing anything like that. Let's check the futures. Again, we don't see any problem with Tether at the moment, but we just certainly keep our eye on it. I want to share a really naughty meme with you. This is from Duke. Thank you, Batman. Strong people don't put others down, they lift them up. Darth Vader philanthropist. I thought this was really hilarious. It's very naughty, but thank you, Duke, for making us laugh. If you have any other memes you'd like to share, I would love to receive them. It's always great to laugh. Looking at the top 7, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and DOGE. Let's go to the top 24-hour percent gainers. SHIB, DOGE, who let the dogs out? Ethereum, Classic, OKB, XRP, AXS, and 0x, ZRX. Let's go the other way. Greatest losses, 24 hours. T-Fuel, Rune, BTT, Quant, The Graph, GRT, KSM, and AMP. Let's have a look at the 7-day greatest percent gainers. VGX, RVN, ICP, QTUM, EGLD, Luna, and BTT. Let's pop around the other way. Greatest losses 7 days. AMP, Seacoin, SC, T-Fuel, Decred, DCR, Telcoin, Tel, Myota or IOTA, and Quant, QNT. Let's have a look at Binance derivatives. You can see this is a lot of volume, $90.2 billion across the past 24 hours, around 8.6 bill in 24-hour open interest. Let's look at our percentages there. That's the change in price of the contract over the past 24 hours. We can see about 3% for Bitcoin, double that, 6% for Ethereum. We can see Ethereum will be outperforming Bitcoin currently. It has more upward price momentum. Doge, 24%. DOT, getting a loss, negative 1.6%. Ethereum Classic, coming up, 12.3%. Let's have a look at some more. Some negatives in there. Rune, negative 5.1. Bake, negative 3.5. It actually is good to see negatives in the market. When it's all too green or all too red, it's unhealthy. It's really good for things to be balanced. You can see I'm really into balance. ZRX up 8%. Okay, that pretty much does it. I'll just cover those futures off for you. I'd just like to thank everybody for their comments. I always do my best to read your comments across all the different platforms. There's so many beautiful comments and such fantastic discussions. I really love that. Let's have a look at the top 100 Binance top capitalization. We can see, oh my goodness, I can't speak today. Doge at 25.17%. I'll just read out the names. Doge, SHIB, ETC, 0x, XRP, AXS, ETH, ICP, FTT, WRX, FTM, BTG, Nano, Comp, XLM, VET, ZEC, Bitcoin again, one in BSD, MATIC, Engine, BNT, REN, AVAX, ADA, PERP, One, Litecoin, IOST, BNB, 1 inch, Maker, Flow, and Quantum. It's really interesting to see this. Look at how DOGE and SHIB have been performing. They've really come up. They hit a certain point, came down, but they're on a tear. You can see the third one there doing well. ETC, Ethereum Classic, it's coming up as well. These are all really, really helpful things for you to know. I always like to track the top. You always want to see if something has power or not. You can see the majority of these 108 tokens that we're comparing together. They're basically grouped in a fairly narrow range. We've got some ones that are above the pack and some that are below the pack. Let's check out the ones below. Leading the bottom of the pack is T-Fuel, LSK, Rune, SKL, RSR, QNT, BTT, Ocean, Luna, Raven Coin, Graph, Hot, KSM, Bake, ZIL, Sol, XMR, HNT, Elron, Dot, THETA, Cake, Carver, Digibyte, Mana, Chiliz, Nia, CRB. That just gives you a bit of an idea how the top and the bottom are performing in real time. Let's look at the top 15. We can see Bitcoin in yellow starting to come up. What's happening? ICP is coming up hard. XRP coming up second. Doge is number 1 in terms of price increase. We can see ICP was doing well earlier on, but then lost its steam here. Basically the latter part of the top 15, the bottom ones, are THETA, Sol, Dot, Link. The top ones, Doge, XRP, ICP, ETH, Uni, VET, XLM, and Bitcoin. Let's just have a quick look at Bitcoin again. Bitcoin is currently trading at 45,099. It's going for that 45,000. Well done, Bitcoin. It has resistance above at 45,830, support below at 44,602, 43,853, and 43,069. In a position like this, what I would tend to do is just layer in. A couple of people reached out, directly messaged me and said, Ken, what do you do if you've got a whole lot of layers being bought at support going down away from the current price action? The concept is you can just use the last one, just cancel the last one, just put it up one level. You don't want to go too close to the current price. You really want to get these sharp spikes down if you can. However, just play with it. Do whatever it is that you would like to do with it. It's your money. Experts don't know your requirements and your needs. I think you just take the concept and make it your own. Binance Coin is currently trading at 357, just coming up to resistance now. It has support below at 347.07 and 339. One further one down, 327.48. ADA is currently trading at 147.55, resistance above at 1,500 and 152.67, support below at 144.86 and 140.06. I'm really impressed by our community. In reading your comments, I can see people are not being subject to fear. They just simply look at a price and say, yeah, I can just buy at support, that will come down, price is moving in a wave. I can always move my lower buy order up to a higher level if I wish to rotate them around, depending on how sharp the angle is. I know sharp angles reverse. Price is always moving in a wave, so I can deal with that. I don't fear. I see it all the time in the comments. I couldn't be more proud. It's just beautiful to watch. Okay, XRP is currently trading at 82.39, resistance above 85.40 and 87.18, support below 80.34, 7900, 77.37, 75.54. Who let the Doge out? Wow, Doge is currently trading at 27.029, doing really well. What do you notice about that angle? That's a pretty sharp angle. What do we know about sharp angles? If we look back, what have the sharp angles done? What have they done? What have they done? It's really important to keep your mind on sharp angles tend to reflect. Tend to. That's the probability. Now, what does that mean? That you can set your buy orders. We don't FOMO in our community. We laugh in the face of fear. We just say, no, I'm buying at support. I don't care what you're doing. You can spread your buy orders. If you feel that you're going to miss out, you can take something close to the current price. That's fair strategy. And then you can layer down. Always keep in mind your costs. It's really important not to pay too much for those commissions. It's nice to see Doge partying for a change. It's been really sad recently. Been a little bit off color, but seeing some sunshine now. Resistance above for Doge is 27.989 and 29.138. There's support at 26.874, 25.735, 24.892 and 24.013. Let's have a look at DOT. DOT is currently 20.847, just pretty much at support. It has two higher resistance levels, 22.095 and 22.661. Support below $20 even, 19.569 and 18.880. I'd just like to say hi to all the people who private messaged me saying that they had bought DOT when this falling knife occurred. Many people are sitting on 100% plus gains. That is really beautiful. I am so happy for you. Thanks for reaching out and letting me know. Rule 307, excitement is a delayed fill. When you buy at support, it's so exciting to see them fill. A lot of people put excitement into getting an instant fill. We put, as a community, excitement into waking up and seeing that your buy orders have been filled at increasingly lower and lower levels, like the falling knife. Well done to everyone that's doing that. Okay, let's have some fun. I just wanted to show you this. When we do the trend episode, these are all the stocks, crypto stocks that we go through. Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, a lot of different Galaxy Digital, Mara, Coin, Hut. I just want to show you these. It's a bit of fun. About a week ago, we drew some lines together to see how the top 7-day percent gainers were going. Look at Rune, it's selling off back to support. I've drawn very consistent lines here for you so we can compare the relative strength of other coins against each other. Basically, we can see Anchor is basically stepping up. It still has that positive fresh air above, that's showing strength. Let's have a look at Neo. Neo is doing well above support. Sia Coin doing well above support. Luna doing well. When you get this kind of angle here, when you pass resistance like this can create quite substantial price increases. Just a little tip for you. Those knowledge gems, I give them out to you all the time. I just don't say they're a gem. Maybe I should say it more, but I think you know. Let's have a look at DOT, holding that support well. Looking at Quant, coming back to test that support. BTG, Bitcoin Gold, just under resistance. Link, just under resistance. But it's increasing. The important thing to see is the price momentum is increasing. Solana, just a bit of a downturn, but nothing incredibly problematic. DigiByte, under resistance relative to the other coins. This is not the technical analysis for DGB. If it was, I would draw it completely differently. What I'm trying to show you is a relativity between all of these particular coins. It helps you to assess relative power. XRP, doing well. Very interesting, like an S, kind of slanted on the side. Doing well. Well done, XRP. ZRX, look at ZRX. Trying to party. Uni, doing also very well. What we can conclude from that, for the past week, the positive movers kept on making positive outcomes. What about the negatives? Did they keep going down? Okay, let's have a look. TEL, a little bit, depending on where we actually started. T-Fuel, going down. ICP, reversed that downward movement. MDX, reversed the downward movement. That's why we have to keep our eye on things. Sushi, reversed the downward movement. Algo, it too reversed it. DOGE, well, yeah, absolutely it reversed it. Comp, correct, reversed. SHIB, look at this, SHIB has come up to this resistance line and passed across it. Now, you ask, Ken, why aren't you drawing that line out further? It's really deliberate. I'm trying to train your eye. A lot of times I'll look at a chart, I don't even need to draw a line. I'm trying to really subconsciously impart different skills to you, just very, very subtly. I do it every video. There's a mass of skills that I just want to pass across to you. Okay, THETA, look at that, recovered well. One, recovered. MATIC, also recovered, did quite well. Mana, Decentraland, or Mana, recovering across. This is quite a good chart. That bounce off that resistance now turned to support. Always nice to see that. IOTA going up. And you may ask, how did this happen? What's going on with all these tokens? The answer is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dynamics. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. That's a really, really important thing to understand. Bitcoin is pulling the entire market up. SNX, increasing as well. FTM. Over the month, so many people have reached out in the comments and by direct message saying, Ken, I would just like to do something for you to say thank you for what you do for the community. I find that so beautiful, and I want to thank everyone very, very much for that. I've said in the past, don't worry about it. I'm just happy if you're happy and you're moving forward. But so many people keep on asking, and I thought, what can I do? I thought I would put a little site together, which is buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. If you would like to buy me a cup of coffee, I would be thrilled. I love coffee. Actually, I need coffee most of the time. I tend to keep pretty late hours, as you know. But that would be beautiful if you would like to do. It's just a little thing, but it would mean a lot to me. If you would like to do that, that would be really, really lovely. And I've just included a couple of links in here to like the Facebook group, and there's a little bit of background on me. I know some people have read that. If you would like to read it, it's there. This is my LinkedIn profile. That's my Twitter page, and of course the YouTube channel. So if you would like to do that, I'll be going and buying a cup of coffee, and I'll just be thinking about you and saying, wow, I have never had better tasting coffee than this. I'd like to share this quote with you from Henry David Thoreau. Wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Money is a part of that, absolutely, but wealth is so much more. Everything that we do together as a community is all about wealth. If you have any questions or you would like me to cover off any particular topics, please let me know. I read everything. I take it all very, very seriously. I add it to my to-do list. I'm here for the community. When people get into trading and investing, they think in order to make a lot of money, they have to have a lot of money or take enormous risks. That's not true. The way to make money is slowly. $1 million earned starts from what you have now. Just take your time. You gain the skills. You'll do incredibly well throughout your entire life. That is what this is really all about. I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. Thanks very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. If you would like daily updates 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube, and you can follow me on Twitter as well. Crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.